I'm about to show you how you can control your mouse and your keyboard just with some simple Python code. As a bonus, I'm also going to show you how you can convert your Python script into an executable file, so you don't have to run it from a command line all the time. I'm going to assume that you have Python installed. If not, just check the video in one of these corners. I'll wait for you, or you should probably pause this. Alright, in order to control your computer, we're going to need at least one Python package, but we're going to install two because we're going to use two in this video. You really only need one because you can kind of do both or do everything with one, but we're going to use two. Alright, so all you're going to have to do is do pip install pyautogui, and then press enter. I already have it installed, and then pip install keyboard, which again, I already have it installed. Great. So let's start out by controlling our mouse. So what you can see here is that we have pyautogui, which is the first package we're going to be using. And we're going to say, it's going to say move to 100, 500. This is an X coordinate of your monitor. And then this is the Y coordinate for your monitor. And duration means how long is it going to take to do this. Then we have imported time as well, and this is going to allow us to sleep, basically wait for 2 seconds. Then we're going to do pyautogui.move to 500, which as you can see is just an X coordinate, and we're passing none for the Y coordinate. That means it's just going to move just in the X, and it's not going to move at all in the Y. So let's go ahead and run this and see what happens. Look, no hands. All right, so you can see that it actually did it, and I'm not lying. This isn't movie magic. All right, so this is great, but what if we want to click our mouse? So I have this code right here. So you can do pyautogui.click, and it will click wherever it's focused, wherever the mouse is. You can also tell it to click a specific location. So let's give this a try. We'll run this again. No hands. This is kind of, maybe I should speed this up a little bit next time. But there we go, we clicked. We almost have full control of our computer already. But what if we want to type something? I don't want to use my hands for that. So let's fix that. So to type text, we can just delete some code here, and I have some examples here. So here, I will get rid of these comments using control /. You can get rid of comments within VS Code, most things that, most IDEs. So here we can see we have pyautogen typewrite, hello world. This is going to type this over 0.2 seconds. Then we're also going to press enter. We're going to hold shift down. We're going to write uppercase, and then we're going to let go of shift. If we didn't let go of shift, the program, as long as the program is running, the system is going to think shift is being pressed. So be aware, make sure you key up shift. All right, so let's go ahead and scroll down a little bit so that it's going to ideally write it somewhere around here based off of our other stuff. All right, so let's just comment this stuff out here so it goes a little faster and change this to 500 so it actually clicks around here. I just tested this and it clicked in here and messed things up a little bit. All right, so let's go ahead and run this. No hands. Click. This types out hello world. Uppercase. Excellent. And if I start typing, it is not an uppercase. I think I said this was it types everything over 0.2 seconds, but it actually types each character in 0.2 seconds. So my bad there. I'm going to go ahead and delete this because we don't need random text in our Python file. All right, so what if we want some kind of input from the user, right? Maybe we want them to be alerted of something or something like that. Well, we can do that too. Let's go ahead and delete all this code here. And let's uncomment this. So basically what's going to happen now is I'm going to get rid of these types so that we don't actually have to do that anymore, because otherwise it might mess up our code a bit because it'll type in here. So instead, we're going to actually just print out some things that are going to be asked of the user, or in this case, me. Okay, let's run this here. So we're moving our mouse again. And then this time we get text. This is coming from this one right here. Once I click OK, you'll be able to see what we see in the command line. Okay. right? And we get another pop-up. I either have the option to OK or cancel. If I click OK, we get OK again. This time I get some kind of text input, so I can type subscribe. What a good idea. All right, now if I click OK, we get subscribe. This time I actually have password text. So it's using a mask, basically mean it's hiding the input. So this time I'm gonna type Jake is cool, because I think so. And I'll click OK, and you've seen my secret password because we're printing it out right here. All right, this is awesome, but this also all requires that I'm doing something actively, right? Like, it's gonna move things for me. It's not really waiting for me to do something. So let's use the keyboard library to kind of fix that. So we're gonna go ahead and delete some code here, and we're gonna use keyboard. I'm not gonna import this because I actually imported this up at the top here. And we're gonna do this here. I'm gonna uncomment everything. Yeah. So what are we doing here? We are using the keyboard program, and we are adding a hotkey so that anytime I press space, then we're going to run this code here, which is to save a screenshot. It also has a counter so that when I press this, the counter will be set. This global means that we're referencing a global counter outside of this function here. And then we're going to create a file name, which is just screenshot dash whatever the counter number is, .png. And then we're going to tell pyautogui, which is a separate package from keyboard, the one that we've been using, pyautogui, to take a screenshot and save it with this file name in the current file, in the current directory or folder that we're running our script in. Cool. So we're done here. We have counter equals counter plus 1 so that we don't continually name them screenshot dash 0. And yeah, we should be good. Now you might notice that we also have keyboard.wait. So keyboard.wait basically means that it will pause and it'll wait for things to happen. If we didn't do this, we just set up everything and then we'd immediately exit the program, which isn't exciting because, well, then we're not doing anything. I'm going to just comment out these things right here because if I don't, then we're going to have our mouse moving and stuff again. So let's go ahead and see what happens. So if I go ahead and run this, nothing is happening, which is okay because we're not printing anything, but it hasn't errored. So let's type Jake space. Oh, look at that. We got a screenshot. Is space cool space subscribe space. All right. If we go ahead and kill our program using Control-C, I can go ahead and delete this here. But if I go and look here, we actually have screenshots of each time I pressed space. And this works even if I go and do other things. So if I wanted it to be every time I press the letter Q when I'm playing League of Legends in my awesome gold tier, then we could take a screenshot every time I press Q. Or maybe R, because that's probably more exciting than Q. If you play League, which if you don't, good for you. If you want to with pyautogui, you can even take a screenshot of a specific area of the screen. So maybe every time you press a button, it'll take a screenshot of the bottom or of the top left or wherever you want. Now, as promised, I'm going to show you how you can turn your script into an executable file. I'm only actually going to show you how to do this on Windows because that's what I'm coding on right now. But I'll leave a link in the description for how you can do it for a Mac as well. All we really need is something called autopy2exe, which is a pip package. And what happens is when we install this package, we can just type autopy2exe within our command line, and it will actually, it'll tell us to pick something. So let's see here, autopy2exe, enter. I already have this installed. All right, great. So we can see here we have a script location. So we're gonna browse, and I'm gonna go ahead and pick this script here. So this is the script control, and click open. Then we're just saying that it's a single directory or a one file. I don't think this really matters, to be honest, for this case. And we're going to say it's a console-based thing because there's no windows that we're opening up here. You can provide it with an icon if you want, like an ICO file. We're not going to do that because I don't really care what it looks like. And we're done. So let's go ahead and click convert.py to exe. All done. Wow, that was fast. It actually did take a little bit of time, but it wasn't too bad. All right, so if I go ahead and open the output folder here, we can see that we're going to get this control. So I actually have this under this computer control file or directory, which is, you can see where our screenshots are. So this was the control Python script that we're running here, or we were writing here. And if I go ahead and look into output, we have control, which matches the name for our script. And within here, there's a whole bunch of stuff. But the one thing we really care about is this control application, which is basically an exe. So what I can actually do is if I go ahead and send this to the desktop, I can get rid of this stuff, get rid of that, and we can see that I have this control on my desktop. Now, let me open this back up and go here, because I believe where this is actually going to save a screenshot to is here. But let's see it. Go ahead and take a look. So if I double click this, we can minimize this or whatever if we want to. But as you can notice, we didn't have to type or open up a console and type pycontrol.py, right? It just did it for us. So great. So we can go ahead and minimize this. But now if I press space, I was a little confused where the screenshots went here. I thought they were going to be in the other directory, but it turns out they're in the directory where the exe is. So my bad. Oh, there they are. Within this directory here, you can see that we now have two screenshots. So if I go ahead and open this, there we go. It's now taken screenshots. Pretty cool. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. As you can imagine, you can do a lot of really cool things with your computer because, well, you can just program some stuff and you no longer have to touch it. Pretty neat. If you did like this, please drop a like down below. It really helps out the channel, and consider subscribing for more videos like this in the future. Maybe while you're down there, you can even drop a comment for what you'd like to see next. There's so many things you can do with programming, so the sky is kind of the limit. Unless you build rockets, then I guess it's further than that. But, you know. I'm Jake, you're awesome, and this has been Controlling Your Computer with Python. Until next time, cheers.